How are we doing, everybody? Welcome. We're all here. We got it all under control. Eventually. How are we doing? Vera, very welcome. All of you are very welcome. God, there's a lot of you. Okay. Welcome everybody to the very first episode of Echoes of Ragnarok. We have all of our wonderful players here. For those of you who are new here, as I said, there's quite a few of you there. My name is Dragon Jane, also known as the Heavy Metal Game Master. I am the creator of this world of Hymgard, which some of you may know as the sort of like descendant world of my novels. So it's the same setting about 500 years later. But yeah, we have all of our wonderful players here finally. Why don't we go through and introduce ourselves, starting with Mootley.
Hi everybody, I'm Mootley. I am so honoured to hear nothing but Australian voices around me today and to be filming a show at a reasonable time of the day that's not 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm super excited to play in this world and help you guys get to know Dragon's amazing world that he has created, and super excited.
Hell yeah. I'm psyched. Cool. Frax, you wanna jump in there, buddy?
Hi, I'm Fractured Plays. I am a bit of a TTRPG nerd, and I am super duper keen to be a part of this stream. Firstly, I want to say thank you for the invite. Very excited for this opportunity. And I'm keen to try out a new system that I've never tried, especially set in this world that you've crafted for us. I'm super keen, super duper keen.
Nice. That's what I needed.
No, you don't need dice for a TTRPG.
Why would I need dice?
Nah, dice, never heard of it.
Cool. Mac.
Hello everyone, my name is Hephaestus Mac. This is my first time going live on any kind of Twitch stream, and looking forward to playing a game with everyone.
Oh yeah. And Rogue.
Hi everybody, I'm the Overworked Rogue. I'm a TTRPG nerd, also a cosplayer and also a streamer, and I am so super honored to be here. This has been months in the making, and I cannot wait to get in and play with this world. Also, shout out to Heavy Metal Game Master's book. Please go get it. It's an awesome book. Read it.
You know, you can tell when your wife's watching your stream because she brings you dice.
Oh.
You love that.
Yep. Cool. So, yeah, and a huge thank you to all of these wonderful people for coming along and helping me showcase my cool nifty little world. So just a few quick shout outs. A few quick updates for everyone. Real quick, we are using the age system, or fantasy age, for this campaign. It is one of my favorite systems. I've found it to be a really good system if you've got people who are like white knuckle clawed into D&D and you're trying to get them to play something new, because it is close enough, but also different enough that they get a bit of a taste for new things. For those who are wondering, the main thing that you'll hear a lot thrown around in this is stunt points. So in Fantasy Age, Fantasy Age uses 3d6 over this way, instead of a d20 essentially. And when you roll, if you roll doubles on any of the dice, you can generate stunt points, which you can then use in the same way that you would for crits, but with a bit more creativity. So you can use them for a lot of different things. It's a really cool system. And we are super excited and very honored for this stream and for future streams to be affiliated with Green Ronin Publishing, who make the age system. Yay! Yes, so feel free to use the code METALGM to get 5% off any order through the Green Ronin store. And it'll be and that helps out our channel as well. Speaking of affiliates, we also have, as the image says below, we have our affiliate Arkenforge, who do awesome map making toolkits and such. If you use the same code MetalGM, you will get $5 off the Arkenforge basic toolkit. A huge thank you to everyone for the follows and all that. Hugely grateful. That's really cool to see. Once again, if you are following me here, once again, all of these people have socials as well. You should go and follow them as well, because a lot of them, well, all of them do really cool shit. And one final thing, I promise not all of the intros will go for this long. If you would like to support our players or myself, you can do so directly from me via Ko-fi, or if you would like to support our wonderful players who are giving up their time to indulge my god fantasies, you can, if you go into the chat, if you go down to the tip jar in the panels below, you can tip them directly, and those tips are split evenly between the players. So yeah, huge thank you to everybody. Yep.
Yes.
Definitely.
Make it rain, guys.
Make it rain. So yes, once again, huge thank you for all the follows. Make sure that you're following. I've got to remember directions. All of these guys, because I'm looking at it, like I'm looking at the OBS screen and it's mirrored, and I'm like,
I'm down here.
Yeah, just travoltering it over here. Wait, GM spouse. What? HGM spouse is Rose as well? Yes.
Yeah, because my wife's name is Rose as well, so it's the Rose Collective of Wives.
Oh, that's a terrifying thought.
Gotta catch them all.
So just so everyone's got an idea of sort of like how this is going to run, very much in the same space as our lovely friends at Tabletop Time. I will essentially be running this. We're going to do a little sort of intro thing. I'll probably do a couple of the things that we've already done again, just quickly running through the basic like affiliate stuff, because that's really cool, and we'll intro these guys again.
You're doing great.
I'm doing great. I'm just it's a time. And we'll intro these again just to make it nice and neat for the YouTube video. We're then gonna run our wonderful intro video. And we will get into it. By the way, also, if you want to know more about the system or the world that we are playing in, on my YouTube channel, I do have a playlist that'll run through all the videos I've made surrounding all that sort of stuff. So yeah, but with that all said, let me just grab this real quick. What? Cool.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Happening. It's happening.
Okay.
It's happening.
Give me silence for a second.
No.
How's it going, everybody? We are finally here. Welcome to the very first episode of Echoes of Ragnarok. This is crazy. I did not think we'd get here for a little while, but here we are. So this is our new Fantasy Age TTRPG stream, based in my own dystopian Norse world of Hymgard. And we have an incredible cast here for you. Let's run through this real quick, starting with Mootly.
Hi, my name is Mootly. I do TTRPG content when I can remember and stay up very late at night streaming with random people around the world. And I'm very happy, as I said before, to be playing with Australians at a reasonable point time, and that I won't have to wake up tomorrow for work dying. Yay.
The joys of an Australian time frame. Cool. Frax.
Hi, my name's Thrasher Plays. Oh my gosh, the timing of that.
Yeah, that was.
I am an Australian content creator. I do a lot of gaming content on Twitch. Elsewhere, I create my own handmade custom TTRPG terrain and wargaming terrain, from buildings to lava boards to gaming statues, all done by hand because I like it that way. But as it was said before, it is an honor to be here, and I'm super duper excited to be a part of this.
Hell yeah. We're super excited to have you, man. I'm very super excited to have all of you here. This is really, really cool. Mac, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is Festus Mac. I do TikToks. I'm a blacksmith, do markets and things like that. And I'm just here to really have some fun.
Awesome. And last but certainly not least caffeinated, Rogue.
Hello, I'm the Overworked Rogue. I'm a TTRPG nerd, as I said before. I'm a cosplayer, TikToker, and streamer. And I am actually, so excited that we have, again, such an Aussie table, because we tend to get left out. And I want to bring us up into the world. Hell yeah, yes. I'm so excited for this, you guys.
Yeah, super pumped for this. Cool. So, did I just lose light in here? Hold on a second. Hold, please.
We're not allowed to get darker yet. It's the first episode.
You gotta do like sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows everywhere.
No character
Just
trauma
cracked
just
open
yet.
someone's backstory.
Oh god, which one was it? Who was it?
It was Rose all along.
Oh my god.
Who?
The cult of Rose. It's risen.
It fucking would. Anyway, back to what we're doing. Sorry about that. Anyway, so we are super excited to be presenting this for you on an Australian time frame with an Australian cast. But we are also super excited for a couple of the affiliates that we have managed to get. I still don't entirely know how. As I mentioned, we are using the Age system, or Fantasy Age, which is created by Green Ronin Publishing. It is a really, really fantastic system. And we are super proud to be affiliated with Green Ronin Publishing. So you can now use the code MetalGM to get 5% off any order through the Green Ronin web store, including Fantasy Age, Modern Age, Blue Rose, Dragon Age, there's something for everyone, so please go check it out. It is a fantastic system, especially for those that happen to be White Dagger Claw stuck in D&D, unwilling to budge, that you want to try something a little bit new that feels similar but is different enough. Again, also one of our other affiliates is Arkenforge, who makes some awesome TTRPG map making products. And if you use code MetalGM through their website, you can get $5 off their starter kit for their map making products that can be used to create maps that can be used for virtual tabletop or regular tabletop. So go check them out. But with that all said, I think it's probably about time that we jumped into this, shall we? I'm so excited.
Let's do it.
Yes!
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay, so the...
What is it? Music jump scare.
And welcome back, everybody. Jumping in to our our little game here. I'm going to do a quick intro, and then we will get to characters. Apologies, I need to give this intro its proper due here. So, Ormuna, the mighty river that runs from the frozen fjord in the northernmost point of Niflheim to the sundered cove in the south of Midgard. Striking a solid vertical swathe through the vast realm of Hymgard, believed to be one of the Elivaga, the primordial rivers of creation, Ormuna and its linked network of smaller rivers stretches to almost every corner of the Western realms. Providing an excellent means of transport for ferries and trade boats alike. At the center of this mighty river, on the border of Niflheim and Midgard, the harbor city of Vatngarda sits like a jewel at the center of Hymgard's crown. And today, as the sun rises on the first day of summer, it shines brighter than ever. The grand harbor bristles with color, vibrant flags attached to the harbor's dark wooden posts and ship masts flutter in the breeze. Colored glass chimes and beads glint and jingle in the new sun as children laugh and run through the streets, eager for the day's festivities to begin. The sound of music plays in the streets, echoing off the stone walls of the warehouses, workshops, and market stalls of this large and bustling citadel. And as the sun peeks through windows across Vatngarda, we find ourselves at a certain household where one character is starting to wake up, or possibly is still awake. Mootly, would you like to introduce Ada, please?
Ada's starting her day after, once again, a very busy evening, especially during this festival time of the year where she makes a lot of money, and so do all her friends. Ada is a elf woman with dark brown hair, but strangely for most people, she's actually quite more staunch than most elves, and has seemed to have packed on quite a lot of muscle in comparison to the lithe elves that you generally see walking around town. As she puts her jacket on for the day, you see a golden horse across her neck and over her shoulder, and as she pushes her sleeves back, you see netting tattooed all the way up from the top of her knuckles on either arm, slide all the way up to her elbows. She rubs her hands together and she gets the last little bits of her jewelry and bits together to look forward to a new day of profit of all the new little pretty tourists who visit town at this time of the year. And she strides out into the city streets through the hustle and bustle of tourists and people selling their wares, making little hand signals occasionally to little kids as they walk across the street, seemingly to receive signals back, and little glints and points at certain people as she walks around town.
Cool. So you make your way out into the streets of Vatngarda. A largely sort of sandstone or grey brick style sort of buildings, many warehouses. There's a lot of people starting to make their way out into the main sort of market districts and down to the harbour to see the various delights that come with what is commonly here known as Sigablot. Sigablot is a widely celebrated festival across Hymgard. It is known to be the return of the sun, so it is generally the first day of summer. However, in Hymgard, following Ragnarok, it took on a new meaning, in the sense of it being also remembered as the day that, what would you say, the day that Ragnarok ended and Balder, the god of light, returned to the world. You see a number of, sort of like colored banners and lots of flags across pretty much every surface you can see. The smell of baked goods, wafts, baked goods and various other delicious foods and such wafts through the streets. And as you mentioned, amongst as well as the various employees that you may have, a number of children do just also are just running around and playing with wooden swords and, pointing out toys or stuffing their faces with delicious food. As you watch one of your sort of pickpocket boys runs past you, gives you like a little tip of the hat and keeps sort of scuttering onwards around a corner to where he runs into very hastily, just bumps and is like, "Oof, sorry, sir." Keeps wandering around. Mac, would you like to introduce Hugo?
Wait, can you run that back for me again? So the child's run into me?
Yeah. So essentially, you've just had this, like walking along the street, a small, like mousy blonde-haired, like scruffy-looking boy has just run out of an alleyway, just like looking over his shoulder, has just barreled into you with no great amount of power, and just been like, "Oh, yeah, sorry," like.
Nah, that's all good, mate. All good. Go on your way. Bloody kids running around everywhere. So as you see him, the kid runs into Hugo. He is just under 5 foot, I'd say, about 4'8". Very greasy, but like literal grease and dust a bit in his very orange hair, covered in bits of brass and bronze, and a copper wire swirling through his blackened forearm and hand, where it seems like he's tried to self-do a stitch. Not the most handsome-looking dwarf you've ever seen. And yeah.
Cool. As you are making your way, where are you headed?
It's the morning. I'm going to go for a drink.
Okay. As we start into this, could you roll me a perception test, please?
Yeah, my boy.
First
Too
roll is
early for
clean.
this.
Come on.
And this, so for this, we roll the.
So you roll,
Really?
yes, like
All
for
three.
both for you and for the audience, for any test within Fantasy Age, you will roll 3d6. So you will have two of them that are the same color, two of them same color, or two of them that are same, one that is different. You roll all three. You add those together. You add the appropriate skill and a focus if you have a focus that you think works.
Would evaluation help me here?
Not so much. So evaluation is very much being like evaluation would very much be knowing essentially like what things are worth or yeah.
Understood. Well, apart from that, then I got a 7 with my 2 standards and a 3 with my special.
Cool. So the special, like you add them all together and let me know. That's just a straight up thing. Yeah, so the whole thing, the special dice only, the stunt dice, only comes into play if you've rolled doubles on any 3 of the dice.
Okay.
Um,
And I've rolled 2 3s.
cool.
Triple out the gate.
Well, there's plenty more of them. Those where they came from.
You continue on as you're approaching the tavern, or the tavern where you are going to drink. You go, okay, yep, all right. You reach into your pocket, and your coin purse is gone.
Oh, I got it.
What did you say you stunted?
Yes.
Cool. How many stunt points did you get? Because you'll have the stunt sheets there that you can spend them on.
Okay, so I rolled a double. Hold on, I will bring up stunt sheet. And what does a double get me points wise?
So
Points per
it'll
double.
so no matter what the doubles are, the number that's on the stunt dice is what will tell you how many stunt points you have.
3.
He was a good employee. He was a great employee.
Cool.
It was nice.
He had
your-
hands.
So you can use those on any of the exploration stunts if you'd like.
Exploration stunts.
If you want to have a look over those, one thing I will say, as you think back, because I gather that you and from what we've spoke about before game, you and Ada would definitely know each other. Like,
Yes.
through various, like, the 3 of you know each other. Ada, Eric, and Hugo. You immediately, as you're thinking on this, you suddenly have that moment of thinking back to the boy that ran into you, being possibly the only contact you've really had today. You immediately recognize it to be one of Ada's boys.
I think I'm just going to make a mental note of what he looked like and then head to Ada.
Cool. So you're heading over that way. Ada, where were you headed as well?
Ada was headed for her daily ritual on the way, randomly, picking up pieces of bread and pastries and throwing food and etc., randomly playing with children and melding in with society and all the trope ways. She's gone to the water and in her daily ritual takes one of her coins out and throws it in the water. And is standing by the wharf as she does that, staring somewhat trepidatiously out into the ocean for just a moment.
As you watch, like, the harbor is abuzz today. Like, it is. There are more boats than you have seen in the harbor since basically this time last year. Among the various sort of traders and other merchants that have shown up, there are a number of ferries and personal transport boats. There's a few what appear to be essentially quite luxurious looking houseboats that have, some well-to-do people sort of standing on the back having their morning coffee or drinks. As we zoom across the harbor, pulling off to a small doctor's practice built into another building. Eric, would you like to introduce yourself?
Certainly. Eric is a Norseman, like human. He at the moment is trying to catch as much sleep as he can. During this time of summer, people are drinking, people are having a lot of fun, but usually with that comes with a lot of injuries. So he is slumped over one of the patient beds, just trying sleeping at the moment. He's a young man, but you can tell from some years of stress, he is aged more than he looks. He has red wisps of hair growing out of his clearly dyed black hair, and his glasses with little magnifying glass they can flick on is still resting on his face. His white tunic still stained a bit with blood and other bodily fluids from his work, as he is finally getting some respite from this godforsaken holiday.
And even like as you are like hunkered down in your room, like lying in bed, you know, basically like pillow over your head, like stuffing your ears in, it is like you hear from the, like, just outside your doorstep, amongst the hubbub of, you know, the morning activities, you hear the sound of like people like hup, 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 and then the whine of a hurdy-gurdy starts, and then there are flutes and like what sounds like some sort of other pipe. It is like the band, and it sounds as if the band is like just outside your room. Like,
he attempts to push the pillow further to potentially smother himself, so he doesn't have to hear anything anymore.
As you are like, you know, sort of like pressing this in and all that, you hear, from like just over, like as if it's just closer because it doesn't seem louder than the music. You hear this, small voice that is just running up and it's like, shit, 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 shit. And then there is a creak and there is just a clatter, like an absolute cacophony of those, like, that sound like it came from essentially your office.
That better be the neighbors. And with a sigh, Eric sits up, cracks his back, and like just lumbers out to see who might. He's praying not be in his clinic.
Stepping out into your clinic, there's the bench along one side. I imagine sort of like the bench along one side and the table down the middle with the chair. What is very much like an old like barber's chair, I imagine, sort of thing. There is a bunch of stuff scattered across the floor around a fairly rough-looking, mousy blonde-haired boy. As he's lying as he's sitting on the floor, like wide-eyed, looking around. And there is like, he's knocked over something that was quite obviously blood. And he's sort of like, sorry, I was just trying to, he fumbles around in his pocket and like pulls out this small coin purse and like scatters a couple of hack silver towards you. And then it's like, and like runs over to the front door and like rushes out again.
He just kind of like looks around, kind of baffled, looking down at the blood, knowing he has to clean that up later, and just sighs again, just, the children are getting dumber every day, I swear. And he just, like grabs his, trusty, like, wand from his desk, like, that suspiciously looks like actually not wooden, it's long and metal-like, pops it in his, pocket, and grabs a quick medical kit just in case, like the stuff he takes on the road for house visits, and he follows the child outside.
Cool. So you step out into the street.
Right.
Yeah, it is right at like, you know, essentially like how you managed to buy, managed to snag a house in Vartengard with one of the only like sunrise facing doorways, it's baffling. But you make your way.
Lucky, I guess.
But you make your way out into the street. There are people passing by. You see, you know, sort of young couples rushing past excitedly. various nobles walking past, like enjoying the architecture and the various murals that have been, sort of temporarily painted on the walls or drawn up with chalk. Roll me a perception check, please.
Sure. All right. That will be a 9 from me.
Okay. Oh yeah, no, he did not do well there. He's very much rushing now, and you first you look around and you don't really see him, but then you see like further down in like the crowd, you see a couple of people just sort of like, "Oi, watch it!" And just like that'd be him.
Just I start grab a hold of my thing and I start jogging after the kid.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, can you slow down? Bloody hell, it's in the morning, for God's sake.
Cool. Following after this child, you make your way into the crowd, following him. Okay. Now comes the bit where I decide how I want to do this. Frax,
Yes.
would you say that you, like, knowing your backstory, would you say that you have just now left your previous employer?
Yes. Only
Yes.
very recently.
Cool. With your permission,
Here we go.
I need a... Hold on. You... stumble through the snow. It is cold. Not blizzard cold, not freezing cold. You can feel parts of your extremities going numb. And you can feel, not in the sense of this is an icy cold, there is a part of that, but there is a large part of it that is a nothing cold due to the gaping wound in your stomach. As you stumble through the snow of Niflheim towards the safety of Vartengard. As you stumble and you watch the world start to, like, almost delay blur in front of you, you have the sense to know that if you show up at the front gates of Vartengard like this, you will be questioned, and you will be generally, at least for a time, incarcerated. Can you roll me an intelligence check for me, please?
I certainly can. That is a 10.
10. Cool.
Sorry, 11. 11.
11. You remember one of your crewmates, like one of the members of Hrothgard, who informed you about a way in to Vartengard from his old life, as he put it. Apparently, he basically stated that down to the right of the main gatehouse, there is a passageway, mostly covered. It's inside a small sort of like cave section. As you make your way over there, it's like, he did state he doesn't know if it's still being used, and he also didn't give the sense that it was the best method of entry. But at this moment, you sort of,
Don't really have another option.
Those are your two choices.
I'm definitely going to be using that bit of knowledge and heading down towards, at least to see if it seems usable in my current condition.
You make your way down towards the area where you would say this entrance is. Eventually, you do find this sort of almost small circular cave that, as you look at it, you realize that a number of stones have fallen down around what used to be what looks like essentially a service entry to the sewers or some sort of secret passage.
Okay.
As you make your way in, roll me a perception check.
Alrighty. That is a total of 8, but I got double 2s.
Cool.
With a 2 on the stunt die.
Awesome. So you have 2 stunt points. So you notice as you... Actually, sorry, what did you roll?
So I got 8.
Okay.
With a 2 on the stunt die.
So as you stumble in, you make your way into this cave, like, really feeling this numbness starting to set in. As you proceed into this cave, you see what appears to be a rusted iron door ahead of you. There's a grate, across about eye level. What are you doing?
I'm going to slowly slink my way towards it, cautiously checking stability of the ground, seeing if there's any, just because of the things I've experienced before, any tripwires, traps, anything that could potentially be left behind. As I make my way towards it, I gently tap on it with the amount of strength that I have left to sort of see if there's someone on the other side.
You tap and you hear it echo emptily, like almost emptily on the other side. As you lean against the door for a moment, you are about to turn away. You're about, to turn away when you hear as the top grate opens. Looking up, as you lift your head through your wavering vision, you see these piercing blue wild eyes that just sort of stare at you for a moment in this very confused and alarmed sort of way, and a voice just goes, "Who are you?"
Honestly, I don't know if that matters much now. I just need to get in and get help. An old friend told me about this entrance. Can you help? I don't think I'm going to make it much further if you don't let me. And I know you don't probably care, but
cool.
Please.
Would you be wearing on your person a symbol of your previous employer?
So on the left side of my neck, I have a small tattoo.
As he goes,
and it would be visible.
Yes. You get the sense as he's about to answer, he sort of wrinkles his nose and sort of about to essentially, as you imagine, send you away. Then he stops. He goes, "Just give us a second." The grate slams shut, and there's a section of time by the end of which you are fairly sure he has just left you there. To the point until there is a loud, the wrenching of the sound of scraping steel as the door swings open. And at this stage, I imagine you are now.
I'm really slumped to the
You
ground.
are hobbled, almost basically on one knee. As you are there, you see 2 figures ahead of you. Well, 2 sets of feet, I'll say. Both wearing, fairly dirty but heavy boots. One of them takes a couple of sort of slow, steady steps towards you and crouches. Sort of peering up, you see a tall, athletically built woman. Very sort of sharp, angular jawline. She appears human, were it not for... She would appear human were it not for the bold features and slightly ashen grey skin that give away a partially Jotun heritage. She has long, dark dreadlocks that are pulled into a ponytail that hangs over one shoulder. And she has a long-hailed scar over one of her eyes. She looks at you, sort of locks eyes with you for a moment, says, Khan says you want in.
Yeah.
As she's talking to you, and as you respond, she's like, almost inspecting you, like, moving your face to the side, putting her hand against your skin.
I need to get in, please. Look at me. Please.
Oh, okay. See, we don't get your ilk around here very often, so we obviously are business people here.
Understandable. How much?
She smirks, almost like smiles and giggles. She says, "Oh, I don't work in coin, I just make it. I work in favors."
All right. I don't really have another choice.
Good. Cool. She stands up, turns around and says, Khan, take him to Eric. Let him know that it's on the books. And he walks and you see this other figure. You are lifted, but not by much. As this, you feel a very, like, solid form under your arm as the figure, there's a voice, like, right by your head at this point that says, sorry about this, but protocol at all, and your world goes black as a bag is put over your head. You are dragged. Yep. You are dragged through what feels like cold stone corridors. The smell of sewage hits you a couple of times until finally you hear a door open, and there is suddenly the like chatter of people around you. After a few more moments of sort of being dragged along, this bag is just like pulled off your head again, and then you are pulled into a very blindingly bright area, surrounded by people.
Please tell me this isn't the surgery.
Oh, no. We gotta we gotta go see the dead man for that. As you are carried along, you see through this sort of like blurred haze in front of your eyes, you see a small, mousy blonde-haired boy who is just sort of wandering. If you could picture a child wandering with the face of, I'm trying to look like I've done nothing wrong, that is this boy to a T. He is basically...
He's learning.
He is basically whistling at this point. He's walking like arms behind his back. As he's wandering, you hear a voice that hollers. It's like, that one! Get him! As you see like further down, a pair of guards running towards this child as he turns around and he's like, shit. He pulls out this small pouch from his pocket, runs up to you and whoever's carrying you, and goes like, you working with Ada, it doesn't matter. Slams this pouch into like, into your chest, to sort of as you
Is
reach
that where
up
my
and grab
injury
it.
is?
No. It's like it is above. It's above.
Just like
He shoves it
In the
into,
straight into the injury.
As you-
protect your money, child.
as
Time
you
for a
grab
new character. You got
Ooh, a
filled with
flashy
coins.
pocket.
as you clutch it, he's like, get that to Ada. I've got to lay low for a while. Runs off around a corner and down into an alleyway. As you're continuing on, you see ahead of you a very pale, highly aggravated-looking human. Which the person carrying you shouts out, "Oi, dead man!"
I'm guessing he's referring to me.
Yeah. So this is as you turn around, you see Khan, who is a member, one of the members of the Varg. He is known to be sort of an odd way, like dog's body, like he's sort of an enforcer and sort of a just a
Muscle.
Yeah, sort of, which is hilarious considering he is a Nis. So for everyone at home, Nis are basically gnomes. So you see this essentially like 4 foot tall, like messy, like spiky, sort of messy head, very gaunt, like rough looking dude. This sort of with like a short spiky goatee, who is dragging this like 7 foot man who is just leaving a trail of blood along the side of the street behind him and looks about 2 steps from the grave.
It's like, am I fixing him or harvesting him?
Boss wants
With
him
like
fixed.
the last bit of strength that I have, I just hold up the coin pouch I was given. Are you Ada?
Sure. I reach for the money.
But he, Khan looks over and he's like, boss wants him fixed. It's on the books. You know that it's on the books essentially means that, like, this is a job. Like,
Yeah. It's like, where the kit? Never mind. Come on. Try not to leave bits of him as you drag him.
Cool. So the two of you take Ulf to your clinic. Ulf, as you're like,
mind the blood as I step over the puddle that was in my clinic.
Khan
Red
like
floor
steps over one of the puddles and just essentially like goes, all right, here you go, and like plops Ulf down in the chair. At this point, as you're sort of sitting and like getting prepared for healing,
Washing my hands.
yeah. Ulf, would you like to introduce or describe yourself?
So, I'm playing Ulf Sigurdsson. He is a Nordman human. He has long brown hair with a thick braid in the front left, which features a wolf fang. He has a few scars over his face, now his whole body pretty much, from different battles he's participated in. He wears a long blue tunic with militarized pants, boots, and what seems to be a almost modern / Viking age leather tactical vest. Yeah.
Cool. Just give me a sec because OBS is being weird.
All good.
I think
Apparently, a lot of people are watching ads as well.
Yeah. There's not like really with this, like normally I would pause the game during ads, but for game I'm not going. God damn it! It does this so often. Because it's
I would like to call that child Weaving for Plot Weaver.
Honestly,
We
when you were
might call that
describing
child leaving because he's going to be leaving his thumbs behind.
when you were describing them, all I could think of was the super fan from Oblivion. That's what I was picturing.
All right. It would appear we are back now.
Alright.
I've also just realized that I did not hit recording at the start of this, so I should be able to download it, hopefully. But
You can.
cool.
Woo!
Cool. So you yeah, Eric, what are you doing?
I'm washing my hand. Like I've washed my hands, and I start like grab like a pair grab a pair of scissors and cut up his shirt just so I can get a better entry, like look at the wound and just start to inspect it. And I kind of look at this like what I assume is a bit of a harsh wound, and just kind of look at Khan, just be like bloody hell, did you do that?
So, Khan looks at him, he's like, what? And he looks over at the wound, he's like, that messy thing? You know me better than that.
I was going to ask if you were drunk.
A little. Yeah. I'll say, realize that I did not actually point out what happened. But, Ulf, you remember, like, being out in Niflheim, being essentially dispatched and on a truck on the way to Vartengard. Your truck hit something, and in this weird, sudden, like, snowblind storm, you were more or less gutted. Like, there was just something hit you very hard, and you just sort of got out of dodge.
All right.
managed to make it to Vartengard. You are, I will say, you're well aware that there are, Niflheim is known in many ways for what would nowadays pass for megafauna. But yeah, this was something else. Cool. Eric, can you roll me what is healing under? Are you, well, I guess I should ask to start off with, are you using magic or are you...
I feel how close this man is to death. I feel like I have to.
Okay.
Because boss says he wants him, well, she wants him fixed.
Mhm.
I'm fixing him.
Cool. Then feel free to roll one of your...
I think I'm gonna do healing touch.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully I manage this. Ooh, I got doubles.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna be okay.
So what was...
That's because I'm a fantastic doctor.
So what was your total?
My total is 17.
Cool, yep. So
and
definitely
I
got
rolled
past-
double sixes.
Oh, hell yeah. And what was the stunt dice?
Stunt dice. I gotta have a quick look at the table. Pardon me.
Oh, good.
I will probably do. I'll pick powerful casting, so I increase my spell power by 1.
Okay. For this spell, spell power's not so much a thing. I will allow it in this case to be just because of this is the setup and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I also don't want to set this as a premise for future stuff. I will put that as I would just say it's an extra D6.
Awesome.
For the heal. But I will say at this stage it's like between for that and because we haven't exactly done like any real damage at this stage, I'll say between that and just sort of various mundane surgical procedures and such, you are able to heal, stabilize to a point, and get him back to functionality and away from death's door.
Yeah.
As you are working, you notice, Ulf, would you have a number of tattoos or just the one?
I do have several tattoos. The most significant would be the one on my neck. Besides that, they're just like, I've got a wolf tattoo on my forearm representing my father, but we can get into that later. I've just got a few bits and pieces.
Yeah. I would say you, Eric, you notice as you're working on him, like sort of even if afterwards, as you're sort of checking over various others, checking vitals, a symbol catches your eye. As I said, there's a number of tattoos here. A lot of them appear to be various imagery that, you imagine has, some form of meaning. One symbol catches your eye on his neck that you have a moment of, wait, that's familiar. And, you see, it's a symbol. It is basically a sword that has essentially a hand clenched around the blade with blood essentially running down the bottom of it. Can you roll me an intelligence check, please?
Yes, I can.
Again, I will also point out again, I will always ask for just the base skill check. If you have focuses that you want or you think should apply or ask, feel free to ask.
I would ask like searching. Oh no, that's my perception. Pardon me, I have nothing in intelligence. Yeah. I'm stupid, you see.
You really shouldn't be.
You're
the mage of the party. You really shouldn't be.
No, I'm. My stats are heavily into intelligence. Don't worry, you guys are fine. Trust me, I'm a doctor. My total's 9.
9. Okay, cool. You do recognize this. It is a fairly well-known symbol, being one of the main tattooed symbols, and especially in this manner, and one of the ones that is not necessarily regularly found, but it is something that's like it's pretty widely spread across Hymgard. This is the symbol of Vali. So Vali, you would know, is one of the sons of Odin. He is the youngest son of Odin, and he is known to be the most like true to war god that has ever existed. Like he's the god, less like a god of war, more a god of the soldier. Like he is, he is known to be a fairly, some would say brutal, some would say, fairly ruthless, but above all, like he's known to be, like he has one purpose. You gather for this man to have one of these tattoos, he has served with Hrothgard, which is Vali's city. I say city because it is a convoy of trucks, essentially, that is full of veterans.
All Eric could be thinking of is just shit. He just kind of stands up, washes his hands again, like looks at him, it's just like, and just looking at his patient and just stay, and walks up to Khan, grabs him by the arm and dragging him over, and then just whispers like silently, but still like very much like panic in his voice. It's like, why is a fucking brother of Vali in my chair?
Well, like Khan sort of like looks over at the chair, looks back, and he says, well, because the boss told you to heal him. I feel like I explained that.
Okay, I don't know if you know this or just don't read, but where usually a brother of Vali shows up, the rest of the trucks follow. Was he here with anyone? Did you see anything? Just this could be sign of something bad.
No, he just showed up at the fridge door, half dead.
Did he happen to mention why he was half dead?
No. He just didn't say much, really. He was kind of all just, help me. Like, you know.
Just him in the chair watching this.
Damn, that was a pretty good impression of me.
I feel like Khan is like masking. He's not whispering like at all. Like I am, but he's not.
Oh, he's like, he's got that like I'm obviously lowering my voice slightly, but I'm also still basically at full volume. Yeah.
Just whispers, you know I'm still here, yeah?
Just like.
Card like, you see like, Card like leans around Eric's shoulder and is just like, 1 minute.
Okay.
Look, just fix him up, send him on his merry way, the boss will find him, and it's all good.
I mean, I put him, I've helped him out. He's definitely going to take a minute to be good, but I'll keep an eye on him and I'll let her know.
Cool. See? It's fixed. No problem. What's all the fuss about?
I didn't get enough sleep.
When do you get enough sleep?
Never.
He's
As
like,
he's
look,
walking back.
He turns around, he's like, look, I'll go get us some coffee. Just seeing as I'm running everyone around, you know, like opens door and walks outside and just starts wandering down the street. You can hear him for a few seconds of just bullshit, carrying dead people, going to get coffee.
You know what? I'm gonna lean out my door. It's like, next time you bring a guy to my clinic, come with coffee first. And then I slam the door. Yeah, I walk back at I'm so sorry, I forgot your character's name, Frax. Ulf. I kind of just lean and it's just like, so how'd that happen?
That's a good question. We'll drive it along, and next thing I know, my guts are out. There's a big bang, and that's about all I remember. I've been blacking in and out, fallen in the snow for far too long. Yep, you know as much as I do.
Perfect. You said you have mates with you at all?
I don't know if they're still around.
Do you think they're gonna come get you?
If they're alive, they might come and do something. Probably try to track me down, but I can't say for sure. I don't even really know where I am right now. I was dragged through this.
Stream malfunction.
That was a cat. Amazing. He runs in.
Brilliant.
Oh god.
That was my mates rocking up, by the way.
Yeah, they have just rammed down the Niflheim gate.
Exactly.
Where the hell is he?
This is why we don't bring strangers inside.
If they survive, they'll probably come looking, but I doubt they'll know where to look right now. I don't even know where I am, really. I'm here. And you're fixing me, and I owe someone, and I'm grateful for what you've done. I need a nap.
Like,
This
now that's
hurts so much.
Well, you had a gaping hole in your abdomen. It would be weird if you didn't. Eric walks over, grabs a pitcher of water, and tries to get potentially any medicine that to help with pain, and hands them both to Ulf, saying, "It's like a mouthful of that, and that entire like bottle, and then you can probably sleep."
Just very shakily takes it.
Yeah. I will say, like, at this stage, like, you're still feeling like you're still like haggard as far as like, and there's still a bit of that sort of like, you're not sure if it's like phantom pain or something else. But at the end of the day, like, you're sort of like, you're feeling a lot better than you did.
Cool. So I take those. I drink them. Ugh. What was that?
Medicine. You'll feel better in a minute.
Oh. I appreciate it. Who's your boss? I owe them a favor or something?
Dragon, help me out. Who's my boss's name?
Yes, of course. You gather that if he's essentially if Khan's dropped him off and it's from the boss, you know that it is Sigrid, who is the pack leader for Vartengard. She is a woman that takes business very seriously. And yeah, pretty much like as the sudden idea that when he mentions that he owes her a favor, that is nothing new. Like, she is basically just, you gather it's essentially like she has just gotten, a one-time ticket for some very serious muscle.
I mean, yeah. So it's like, it's nothing new. Her name's Sigrid. And you're in Vartengard.
Noted. So I take it she's important? Some bigwig here?
She's the boss.
Well, yeah, that's what was said. Like, just the boss of you or the boss of this place? What's the go?
It's like the boss of this place, at least to me. But there's more of people like us scattered around the place.
Understood. Do you know anyone called Ada?
You do know Ada, yeah.
It's like, yeah, I know her. Why?
This little blonde kid, you handed me a coin purse before.
Small, mousy, really bad at hiding stuff he's done.
Looked sus as fuck.
Yeah, that little kid never can have a poker face. It's actually embarrassing.
So that kid works for Ada?
Yeah, it's one of her boys.
Right, okay. Well, do you reckon you could introduce me to Ada so I can return it?
It's like, I probably can, yeah. Should probably be around on this stupid holiday.
As you say that, there's sort of like, you hear outside, sort of applause with cheers, and then suddenly there's just, it's like the hurdy-gurdy starts up again for another song.
Play that same song.
It's like, just, I don't know if there's a version of the Grinch in this world, but I feel like Eric is it.
Yeah.
He's just like, I hate summer.
Cool. So the two of you make your way out, and head out looking for Ada. Around this time, over by the harbor, Hugo, you find your way down. You'd be aware of, at least somewhat of Ada's, set rituals. As you make your way down to the harbor, you see her just sort of standing, looking out at the boats, sort of hands in her pockets.
There you go, mate.
Tinker boy, how you doing?
It's Tinker Man, mate. Tinker Man.
How can I help you this fine morning?
Short, blonde, mousy-haired boy. My lunch money.
How about we play a game? We play
Does
some
it involve
dice.
his thumbs?
We play some dice, and if you win, you get 3 times the money.
Yeah. Yeah, why not?
No problem.
Yeah, no problem here.
How much money have you stole from this man?
My
Dragon,
lunch
can I
money,
roll my
like.
gambling skill with a focus in gambling, please?
You can, yes.
Oh no!
I re-asked the question: how much money have you swindled this poor man?
What is your just really quick? What is the gambling skill under? Just to remind me.
Communication, which I
Communication.
have 3 in, and a focus in
Cool.
gambling.
Both of you roll me a communication test. Yes, you can add gambling to that.
What was I looking for? That's right. How much money would it be for essentially going out for breakfast and carrying enough money to buy a decent lunch? How much money would that be?
Like you're talking about like a decent
A dwarf lunch.
dwarf lunch. Yeah, you'd be looking about 3 or 4 hack silver, which is like bronze essentially.
All right, that's what I had on me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what am I rolling?
So roll a communication test, please.
Oh, that's okay. 12.
12.
Communication. Let's have a look. See, do I have anything in that? No, I do not.
Ada, what did you get?
I rolled 20
Oh no!
with double 6s.
You
Sorry, Matt.
Bad morning.
You're fucked.
Yeah, you roll the dice. Did you actually set anything for if you win?
Nah.
No.
But she makes a big show of it
Yeah.
and like sways a whole crowd around them into it and makes it like a performance using some stunt points to sway the crowd. And just like so it's 2.
So playing 2-ups on the dock.
Yeah.
Could I try and help with that if I see she's trying to make a show of it? Using my oratory skill to try and rouse up the crowd.
Okay. So you like sway the crowd. You have your body like you're rolling the dice. At the moment the dice come out and there's that like sort of click clack sound and people see you sort of like crouching down to start sort of roll dice. A few people like nudge and like, hey, what's going on here? Like there's a lot of stuff, and Ada, you'd be super aware of this. Within Vartengard, most of the time, it's hard to tell what's a show and what's not. During events like Sigablotz, that goes out the window. Like that is like, it is impossible to tell what is a show. To any random passerby, it's impossible to tell what is a show and what is not.
And using this with her sway the crowd for 2 points and Jess for 3 points, which makes everybody laugh around her, she also throws some symbols to her boys and girls who are around and gets them to pick the pockets of all the people watching.
Well played.
Perfect. Yeah, you see some people who are like rolling up and being like, who are starting to sort of get interested, and then they're like, as you turn around and go like, you're, you know, making a show of it, being sort of in that like, oh, you know, yes, oh, I've won again, oh dear.
I'll go the begrudged, like, I don't want to be defeated. We're gonna up the stakes.
Yeah. And there's a couple of points where you like, Ada, just let like Hugo win, and it's that people are starting to get invested as you're watching. Just like every so often you sort of glance up as you see the crowd around you with just these very small shoed feet like pottering in between. It seems to be going very well. As the two of as you're doing this, wandering down the harbor, Eric and Ulf, you see a sort of a crowd gathering in an odd spot. Like it's not. There's like as far as you look at them, like that is you just look at it and you're like, that is a terrible spot for a show. It's right next to the water. Like there's why are you there? Eric, like peering over around the way, you see Ada and Hugo seemingly playing dice.
Like he sighs, but you can tell there's not much venom in it. Like he's just like, of course it's them. Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know them?
It's like, that's who we're looking for. And I start like nudging my way through the crowd. Like, it's like, excuse me, sorry, excuse me. Out of the way, please.
Mm-hmm. You like bump past a couple, like you bump past a few people that sort of, like give you a bit of a look. As you bump past one of them, can you roll me a perception check, please?
Yeah, sure.
No.
Okay. That is a 10. Yep, 10.
Yeah, no, you're like bumping through, like pushing through the crowd as they're like, oh, just excuse me. You get to the front. You get to the front of the crowd and yeah, like there's just Ada and Ada and Hugo playing dice.
2 ups.
Mm-hmm.
2 up, yes.
2 up, yeah.
I just sigh, kind of like step out and just look over like a disinterested dad, despite the fact I am younger than probably both of them, and just be like, who's winning?
Ah, my bright and shining star, Eric. It's an odd time of the morning for you to be awake.
It's like, since when do I sleep?
I mean,
Would
by
you
the
be
look of
any
your
different
face,
if you
mate, you
did
haven't
sleep?
got a wick of sleep.
No to both things. You're not answering my question.
Quick question for you two, even though you're a bit busy at the moment. Which one of you is Ada?
I'll give you
Yes.
one bloody guess, mate.
All right. Looks towards you, Hugo. Well, I was given this.
What can I do for you, young man?
I was given this by a little scruffy boy before. Pulls out the coin purse.
Didn't you give it to Eric?
I held it out. Eric didn't mention if they took it.
No, I would have said like sure, and I would have reached out to take it, but
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
So because I was about to say, I'm pretty. You're like, oh yeah, no.
We're just gaslighting this poor man.
You were like, yeah, someone gave me this, like this boy gave me this thing, and I gave it to Eric. Eric,
Yeah.
you reach for your pocket. Both that coin purse and your coin purse are gone.
no.
Son of a bitch. It's like, Ada, I've told you so many times, can you have your boys keep their sticky hands out my pockets? I'm gonna start keeping scalpels in there.
Damn.
I don't know what you're talking about, darling, but how about I shout you a coffee? That always seems to improve your mood.
Make it two.
About this point, as you're watching, as you're looking at Eric, you see behind him one of your boys, whose names I've immediately forgotten.
How many children do you have?
Crime
Gunny.
Lord.
Gunny, like, looks over and gives you, like, this signal that's, like, essentially, it's clean, like, we're done.
Yep. Ada keeps it going for a little bit, just to let them all scatter.
I will
And
lose
then-
dramatically and like slam my hands on the ground like, bloody hell, you son of a cat. Use the C word.
Well, it sounds to me like you need meat, and he needs a coffee. So why don't we go to the Molten Pig, and I will sort you out.
As everyone leaves, I'm like, yeah, all right, that sounds good. Stands up.
I know I'm new here, but could I get in on that? I haven't eaten in a bit.
And with
Yeah.
how my morning's been, I could use some grub.
He does actually need to
Oof.
eat. I'd recommend it.
Hold
Nice
my
to
hand
meet you. Hugo.
Pleasure to meet you, Hugo. I thought you were Ada. My mistake.
Nah.
So are you,
Ada's not
Ada?
as pretty.
Look, darling, often in my lane of business, I don't necessarily say, hi, I'm Ada, every time everyone asks for Ada. They might not necessarily be asking me for the right reasons. So, yes, I am Ada.
Fair enough. Well, I just got stitched up just before, and yeah, I could use some food. Can you point me in the direction? I'll follow you. I'll just follow you. I just don't want to interrupt.
Where did you find this girl? Where'd you find this bloke?
Honestly,
No,
Like,
no,
I've
I don't care anymore.
I've had a morning. Hey, hang on. Can I actually grab your arm and pick it up? Like seeing the rebarb, like stitching, copper wire stitching you've done, and you just be like, you just see his face sour even further. You didn't even think that was possible. He is using muscles that you don't even know exist to pull a face, and just look down at this dwarf, and it's like, what have you done now?
Hugo,
Oh,
you're
well.
making them stroke out. What's going on?
I'm not gonna say what I was thinking with that one. But yeah, nah, I sliced myself open last night. Had some drop steel.
And your solution was copper wire?
I mean, the copper wire is technically what sliced me open because it dropped it and it unsprung from the spring and sliced me open. So I was like, you know what? You can fix what you broke.
I'm not going to even begin to list the amount of bacteria and infection you can potentially get, but in fact, the you being alive at all nowadays surprises me.
That
So
should be right. I'll cauterize it once I get back.
you
Pour
will
some
do-
alcohol on it. That's what we used to do back in Rothgard.
Yeah, pour
You-
some grog on it.
You
Pop
will
bit of
do
rebar.
no such thing.
Ada, being the one that I imagine is paying attention at this moment, can you roll me an intelligence check, please?
Dropping that little bit of info.
10?
10. Cool. You know Rothgard, as someone who's been around, the various parts of Niflheim, you recognize the name Rothgard, and you recognize that it is the Crimson City, being the convoy of trucks run by the war god Vali. You also know that Vali does not release his soldiers very often.
Yeah, you don't just get to wander off because you're bored one day.
Yeah.
She's kind of like pauses and turns on her heel and looks back at him. That's not a personality style and so deferring to everybody that I would expect from one of your kind. You normally run with a whole crew of you. What you doing here all by yourself, darling?
I'd love to know as well. I guess I'm going to be explaining this a lot today. In car, in truck. Truck go boom. Guts come out. Bag on head. Meet Eric. Now here.
You're into some weird stuff, mate.
I'll meet
Don't
you.
kink shame.
Ada gets like a large sum of money for the food, etc., and gives it to Eric. And it's like, I'll meet you at the Molten Pig. And you watch her walk off and go around a corner into which she looks for one of her boys and one of her older women.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately just spreads the word that a disciple of Vali is in town.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody needs to be on alert and to start watching the gates and to start battening down the hatches and moving things to the emergency stace, and that the girls need to be very careful about anyone that they meet.
Awesome.
And then meets them back at the Molten Pig.
Yeah. Easy done. There's, a moment of, like, there's, as you meet, you wander into this alleyway, and Gunny is there, and he holds up these, like, just 2 fistfuls of coin purses. That you gather by the looks of them, there's none of them that are, like, overwhelming. You gather that it's a decent haul, but it's also, like, it's not, like, as far as you're concerned, it's like, cool, that's breakfast.
It'll feed the boys.
Yeah, yeah. You, like, as he turns and hands them over, you see one of your older girls in the back of this alleyway, like, in the deeper shadows, as she's, taking these, like, coin pouches off Mugni, and she's like, looks at him and is like, it's not bad. Could be better. But the blue blood aren't out yet.
Nice little pick me up in the morning. Guys, the kids have been working pretty hard. Make sure they get a good meal today. But there's some dangerous types in town. One of them, the disciples of Vali, are about dangerous, unpredictable, and normally run in packs.
And about this point, you see Weaver, like, skid to a stop at the end of the alleyway, and he sort of, like, tucks his hands in his pockets, looks around, he's like, hey, what are we doing?
Have you had a good morning today?
Yeah, it's been fine. Quiet. It's been very quiet. Is Cigar Blood on? It doesn't seem like it's like nothing happening.
She makes this little signal, and Radasok comes out of, like, the shadows. And he's this runty-looking kid who looks, like, completely nondescript. And he just walks up to behind Weaver and grabs him round the back of the neck.
Weaver's just like, what?
I'm gonna ask that question again, darling. You know I look after you well.
Yeah.
How was your morning?
I took this dwarf's coin purse, and then I ran off, and I thought I got away with it, but then I bumped into some guards who might have seen me holding said coin purse, even though there was no evidence linking me to the dwarf. I was just me holding a coin purse. It could have been my coin purse, but they didn't ask questions. And then I ducked through this corridor, and then through a window, and I ended up on the floor, and there was lots of blood, and then there was this zombie guy who was staring at me, so I gave him some silver pieces, and I ran out into the street and ran around the corner, and then there was this like, weird, like, short dude carrying another zombie. There's a lot of zombies out today, and it's like,
Hey, stop.
Yeah.
That first zombie, were they skinny and looked constantly depressed?
Oh, yeah, like all joy had left their life.
Okay, go. Yeah. Keep going.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So yeah, then I saw this short guy who looked really sort of grumpy. And he was carrying another zombie. Like I said, a lot of zombies out today. And so I gave the
like
zombie
a gnome.
Yeah. This is gonna take a lot longer if you keep interrupting me.
Yep.
And then, so I just figured, like, they looked like some of the people that you talk to sometimes. So I gave, the short guy kind of had his hands full, so I gave it to the zombie guy, and told him to give it to you. Did he give it to you?
Kind of.
Okay. And then I was running around for a bit to lose the guards, and now I'm here.
Go home. Don't come back out today.
Okay. Can I?
Today was a bad day. But
Can-
you can have the food.
Awesome. Can he?
Yes.
Radisok lets him go, and he's like, "Yeah, cool." And he's gone. Like, just runs off around the corner.
We will never be rid of that character.
He's just gonna keep showing up, and it's just like, how were you here? And he's just gonna have a really long-winded explanation.
He's the guy from Ant-Man.
Yeah, he's like, in kid form.
To not overdo the conversation too much, he basically talks to Radisok and the woman and Gunny and guides them to some of the money and the things that they've been gathering.
Mm-hmm.
They would have in much more accessible spots during Sigablood.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll instruct them to take them to the more secure locations. And also warn them for men with daggers, with swords on their necks, with the symbol of holding a sword, to not pickpocket them, and do not engage them for other business services, as they are too risky to engage with.
Cool.
And to keep an eye out for them on the streets, and to inform me of their movements.
Awesome.
And to enjoy breakfast.
All of them are like, sort of nod, and they very quickly you see them start to scatter, to spread the word around.
And then she goes from like business face to like, I've got not a problem in the world again.
Yeah.
Just walks out the street.
And the mask is back on. Cool. And you make your way up with the others towards the molten pig. At which point we are going to take a quick break. Because I definitely need to stretch my legs and get another drink. And we should all do that. And I've also got to figure out, I do apologize for everyone if, what do you call it? Connection's been choppy. I can't shut this down really at the moment. So, connection's been a bit choppy today. And I really don't want to turn anything else off because, as I said, I haven't really been recording this, and I would like to have both my YouTube and Twitch recordings for this coming up. But anyway, we will be back in about 5 minutes.
Will Rogue get that coffee?
Will Rogue get the coffee?
I will get 2.
This is just like what was it? Have you seen Alvin and the Chipmunks Around the World movie? And there's one of the characters, the youngest of the three, who's always hungry, and he just wants food, and he can't. And every time he almost gets food, he gets like pulled away from it. It's like,
yeah.
Anyway, we'll be back in 5. Thanks, y'all.
See you soon.
And welcome back, everybody. We have Rehydrated, we have the snakes, and we're going to jump back into it. So, as the four of you make your way over to the Molten Pig, this is an establishment. One would not call it in any way fine, but it is popular. The three of you, the three Vartengard locals would 100% know this, and chances are, Ulf, if you as a character have spent any time in Vartengard, you would know it too. The Vartengard, the Molten Pig is a small, I don't know if restaurant is the right word, but it's a small establishment built into the side, like corner of this warehouse. It's almost like there's a room that's been sectioned off with these two roller doors that go up, and there is just smoke, like, pouring out of them, as you gather that he does not have a chimney. In the front of each of these roller doors, open roller doors, you see these sort of long benches, behind which is a very large, looking like he barely fits in there. There's sort of a very large, half burly, half portly, Ogni. So we see he'd be sort of like very, very large, slightly hunched, broad shoulders, like big, thick arms, a large belly over which is a, sort of a leather apron. He has a sort of like balding at the top, at the front with like a widow's, sort of very sharp widow's peak, with sort of like thick, braid of hair hanging down his back. He has a sort of, sort of about neck length beard, very bold, round, like sort of very bold, sort of square features, and this pale blue, sort of like darker blue skin, as he sort of looks out, puts these like two like giant hands down on the table as he leans out. For you and also for the audience, Ogni are they're not by any means like a, shall we say, like, so what you were saying before, Sigrid is half human, half Jotun. Like, she is, one of her parents was a Jotun and one of them was a very brave human. Ogni are an ancient race that was created during Ragnarok. They are a mix of human and Jotun genetics. So a slight difference. They look, in my mind, like I always imagine them looking like essentially something akin to like Warhammer 40k orcs, but like light blue skin, essentially. And not nearly as like bestial and stupid.
Now I'm just thinking Tower Orcs.
Hey?
Now I'm just thinking Tower Orcs.
As he leans out of the over the counter through this like billow of smoke that's coming out the side. He's like, "Is anyone for something to eat?"
Abso-bloody-lutely, mate. Abso-bloody-lutely.
You go. What are you doing up this early?
I got robbed, and I'm hungry.
Oh.
And so I robbed, and I'm hungry.
I see. Well, look, I'd offer you one on tab, but I think your tab's getting a bit heavy at this point.
Oh, nah. Nah, she's paying for it.
Ada. What can I get for you?
Feed the angry one. Coffee for the depressed one.
Oi.
And whatever the stranger wants.
Just some food.
Preferably not something too hard on the stomach.
Get him some meat, mate.
It's like, he can have protein, but Has to be soft. Doctor's orders.
He's my doctor. Yep.
He wants the soft meat, okay. And he points to Hugo, and he's like, "You getting a whole hog or a half hog?"
Half hog, mate.
Half
It's
hog.
gonna be a long day, and I need to be walking around a half hog, mate. I need to be walking around a lot.
Okay. As he answers, like, his eyes like look to Ada with a sort of like, you know, is that alright sort of thing.
Ada literally gives Bo Hugo's own money to pay for Hugo's food.
Like the legit coins and change.
Yeah.
I
He,
need to
like-
minus them from my actual gold and that.
Bo,
And then she takes another bit for the assistance, because she knows that he knew what was happening at the gambling thing, and pays off some of Hugo's tab.
cool. Bo like upturns the coin pouch into his hand, these like pieces of hack silver falling into his hand as he sort of chuckles, and just tosses the bag back to Hugo. As he
My
tucks
fucking
him into
bag, mate.
tucks him into a belt pouch.
That's the one.
What do you mean this is the one?
The one I was trying to return. To
me.
Ada.
To Ada. I hate that kid. I'm just gonna go sit down and take my seat and grumble to myself in the corner. Bloody
Plot-
hell. What a day.
Plot twist: Weaver is the BBEG of this campaign.
Look, I don't want to actually get banned for this, but I feel like almost everyone at this tabby is happy to beat up a child.
There's always that one.
As
He just learns to run faster.
he
Character building.
as he tucks the coin, like these sort of like pieces of hack silver into his belt pouch, he looks to Ada. He's like, "Anything for you?"
No, I'm good this morning, darling.
He
And then she hears the grumpy like. Bo also just likes to feed people as well as being a business person, and so she's like kind of like then just gets the little entree
mhm.
kind of thing.
He goes he turns around and walks out to the back for this, where there is this like long spit, or like long like series of spits across essentially the back walls, on each of which is essentially like the essentially like the central carcass, or like rib cage of boars just slowly turning over coals. Ada, being someone who's like well acquainted of the Vartengard at all hours, you know these were put on like midnight, or like, you know, probably earlier than that. There's also towards the back in the corner, there's a number of these, there's like 3 of these very, very large stew pots that are slowly just sort of bubbling over fires. He looks over at Hugo again. It's like, half hog.
Yeah, mate, a bloody half hog. It's a chill morning.
Go. He, as it rotates, as the like this, you know, sort of carcass rotates over, he stops the spit, grabs, essentially puts his hands on either side of it and just snaps it, like by twisting it.
I'll take the back half. I don't like how it stares in my eyes.
He takes the back half off, wanders over to the this sort of stew pot and pulls out a ladle of this stew and pours it into the inside of the rib cage before handing it over to you in like a small wooden platter that is now like the base of it is full with stew.
I love you. I'm going to turn around and walk off.
He then
You look beautiful, mate. You look beautiful.
He then like wanders over to the side where there's this small like pot of coffee, pours out a small cup of it hands it to Rogue, and then gets 2 like of these small wooden bowls of the stew, of just the stew, hands one to Ada and pushes one in front of Ulf. He says, "That would be the entree, and something soft on the doctor's orders."
Appreciated.
Speaking of doctor's orders, when are you going to build that chimney of yours? All that smoke's not good for you.
Oh, it's all right. Builds character.
Builds mucus in the lungs.
Build flavor, you hear from the corner.
See, the little one gets it.
Ugh.
So, is there anything else you need this morning?
Do you have anything strong to sort of wake me up a bit?
Well, sort of like rolls his shoulders a bit. He says, "You looking for waking up or taking the edge off?"
Bit of both. Bit of both, to be honest.
Both. Okay.
Not really feeling myself right now. It's been a rough morning.
I've got something. Give me a moment. He wanders over to the cabinet where the coffee is, opens up a cupboard at the bottom of it and pulls out this. As he starts to clink, you hear the clack, like the clanking of glass bottles. As he pulls out this small, like, sort of corked glass bottle, and he's like, shuts it again, walks over, and as he reaches under the bar and pulls out essentially like a shot glass and uncorks this bottle, and as he pours it out, what you at first thought was a black bottle, you realize is a clear bottle. As he pours out what quite literally looks like motor oil. And he just sort of forks it back up and scritches, like, just sort of with these 2 first knuckles, just like pushes it across the table towards you.
Back to the future wake-up juice.
Just roll my shoulders back, pick it up.
Can I quickly dart my hand forward and quickly pick it up and just be like, have a look at it before he goes to drink it? Because I'm like, ow, what are you doing? What are you
both of
feeding
you
it?
roll me a dexterity check, please.
Yep.
Grabbing a man's drink, Eric, that is just
15.
disrespectful.
That's my patient, and I'll do what I want.
I do I won't.
That is a 10, but I have I got a stunt.
You're welcome to use your stunt points if there's something that works, but let me explain what happens first.
Yep.
You turn around. At this moment of you're sitting there, you have had a terrible morning. You have just been like sitting there, like basically sitting there going like, all I wanted to do was nap. All I wanted to do was just relax and, like, you know, not deal with all of this, and I'm getting pulled into all this stuff. And suddenly this dude is just like in your space and causing trouble. As you turn around, you think of this, and as you turn around, you see this guy as he's lifting what, again, even from where you're standing, just looks like a shot of motor oil off the table. And as he's, like, lifting it, you have a sudden memory that Bo has been talking to you about, essentially, as he puts it, having some alchemical experiments of his own. Which you also know that, like, Bo's only, like, materials are those that he works with. Essentially, it is like, it is food, it is drink. Like, so you gather that on one side there's, like, only so bad it can get, but at the same time, you have no idea what it is. As you lunge for it, however, you realize that you have realized this way too late.
Oh no.
And there is just this, like, moment as you watch this glass drain and you suddenly realize, once again, in a similar way, that is a perfectly clear, clean glass, and that was just solid black liquid. It is
Liquid death.
bitter as hell. Like, it is just, like, it is... I'm gonna explain what it is, and you can, like...
Explain there.
Yeah, no. It is, like, you look over and you realize that this guy brews, essentially, like, pot coffee. Like, this is, you know, drip coffee, and then it is kept warm throughout the thing. You suddenly realize that this is essentially, like, very roughly distilled dregs. So it is the, like, boiled down leftovers of coffee, what would be a sludge that has been clarified into what can only be referred to as a syrup. And it is just, it is potent, it is bitter, and you immediately feel your body rejecting it. Like, it is just, your heart is racing, your, like, eyes widen for a moment as you feel, like, the, like, nerve endings across your knuckles prickle. Yeah. It's fun.
This feels like a waiver decision.
Hey, can you send me the recipe for that, please?
As that goes down the hatch, I just sort of freeze for a second as my body is really struggling to comprehend what I've just done to it. What the fuck was that? I can't breathe properly. My character starts to hyperventilate.
I mean, you sounded like you wanted more than coffee.
I am certainly awake now.
Might. And he, like, you see, like, his Bo's sort of watching you, his, like, head tilts. He looks at you, he goes, might need some milk or something.
I just collect my food. My plate, my little bowl is just shaking. Just slowly try to make my way to the table without falling over.
Eric just kind of walks up to you. He's like, okay, as a medical professional and your doctor, and I'm essentially you're in my primary care. Please do not feed yourself anything that I do not okay on until you are fully fully healthy again. Also, Bo, give me half a shot of whatever he just drank.
I'll take 2.
He pours out half a shot for you, and a shot for Hugo.
Oh yeah, I'm taking it. I'm looking at it. I'm like having a sample, and then after determine okay, he's awake. I'll be doing a second, and I toss it back. And there's no better way to understand the poison than to ingest it.
Yeah,
experience it.
You ingest it, and it is like the first time that it feels like the first time you've had coffee. Like, it is essentially, like, it is not, it is like, your reaction is not his. Like, you're suddenly like, oh, yeah, this is what normal people feel like.
It's like, dear God, that's good. Send me the recipe for that.
Reminds me of the up and goes that we had when I was growing up. The little milky drinks. Oh, they were good. I can feel my back again.
Bo, like, corks the bottle again and, like, places it back in the cupboard to, like, close it up. He leans over and is like, what are you laughing at?
You got to Hugo's face.
What? What's going on, mate?
I'll deal with that in a second.
That over-caffeinated Popeye Twitch.
You weirdly see Eric smile for the first time in weeks.
It's horrifying.
It's just like, nah. I'll invest in the product.
Ritual.
I'll invest in Bo's product, but I'm not drinking that.
I scoop up some of the stew and I'm struggling to keep it on the spoon as my head's just shaking.
Is that so?
The bard in the corner is just going ham.
Yeah, but Bo leans over the table towards you, Ada, and sort of looks at me. He's like, "You look like you're planning something, or that? No. What have you seen? What's got your goat?"
She looks like Bo and Ada have known each other for a very long time, and she twitches her eyes over in Ulf's direction, and then like just taps her neck where his tattoo is.
Bo like straightens up and like makes a sort of show of stretching and looking around as he glances over towards Ulf. You see, like, he sort of glances back at you and then over at Ulf, and he says, "How long you serve for?"
10 years. 10 years.
That's good.
Why do you ask?
Well, as someone who spent a lot of his life in the field, I'm curious how you came to leave his service.
You see as Ulf straightens up his back a bit and sort of drops this act. I made a deal. 10-year service. And if it was good service, which it was, I'd be given a grace of leave to see the world. I'd never really seen it before, except for as part of the convoy. And you don't really see much of the good in the world. At least I've heard stories that there's good in the world. I hope there is. And I wanted to see some of that for myself. And we came to an agreement, and he let me off. And there are a few of us that were let go to see the world, experience what there is out there. And sadly, our truck was hit by something. I don't know if they made it out. I just know I did. I made my way here through a little old entrance, bumped into some people, Sigrid, Khan, and they dropped me off at Eric's place. Eric patched me up, and I'm here. There isn't much else to say in all reality. I was let off to see the world, and that's what I'm hoping to do. I didn't expect to start off in such a bloody way, though. Just gently sort of grabs it where his wound was.
Bo nods sort of slowly, and his jaw shifts in a sort of very, like, contemplative expression. He looks over and he says, "Well, a lot of the time, I don't know how much good you're going to find in the world, but I've always found, at least," and he glances over his shoulder and at the, like, this stall that he has, he says, "Sometimes you've got to be the good in the world. And don't worry about your mates. There's one thing I know about Vali's boys is, well, they're hard to kill.
Damn right.
He, he reaches out like a hand to you. And as you shake it, you see, like, looking down for a brief moment, you see his hand engulfs yours. Like it is, you know, him, basically it looks like him just holding your wrist at this point. But you see further up his arm, like essentially like right in the crook of the elbow, he is, I will say, like, he is covered in tattoos. And as you look over them, you suddenly realize there's a lot of these that are military. Or some sort of warrior, you know, clan tattoo. He has the same symbol that you have on your neck on his forearm.
As I notice that, I stare at it for a moment, and then I glance up at him. Well, it's very good to meet you, brother.
Likewise.
And my hand grasped in his. I grasp it a bit tighter, if that's possible.
Like holding the hand of a child, and you're the
yeah. As you squeeze, like as you like,
version of the predator.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
predator shake.
It's like the bro thing, but it's just like it's inside. How do you bro shake?
As you like squeeze tighter, you feel this slight moment of like as he tenses slightly, and that sort of like, and he like almost cocks his head a little bit, and you realize it very realistic. Like this man could crush your hand, and has just realized that himself. And he sort of is like, oh, then takes it back, and he goes, looks at, looks back at Ada, and he says, "He's done his service. He's clean. What I think you should worry about is what Sigrid wants with him."
I was gonna tell the darling boy to maybe be a bit careful about dropping Sigrid and Khan's name
Yeah,
about so much.
might be a good idea.
Are they not favored in the town? Eric told me that they're the big bosses of this whole place.
There's layers to things.
It's like Eric is just staring playfully at Ada, like not ashamed at all what he said.
I feel like
Sigrid
I've
knows
got
how
a
to
clue.
make money, and some of the things you may be required to do for her might make you cross other people. And everyone has their own alliances. I like to see myself as an independent contractor, but so I get to play with everybody. But some people don't play well with others, and dropping her name about might find you on the knife's edge of someone else.
Understood. I'll keep that in mind. Is there anything else I should know about?
It's Sigurd. It's the greatest time of the year, unless you're Eric. He makes that face, but he makes so much money at this time of the year. I don't know what he's bitching about.
Around the
He's
corner.
bitching because
It is
he's
the most
bloody
annoying.
soapmate.
It's like, do you know how many head wounds, stabbings, bar fights?
Money.
Slashes.
Money.
It's like, money, yes, but now I have to give up my sleep, my resources, and deal with potentially hundreds of idiots.
And one day you might be able to buy a house that is not the antithesis of your existence.
At about this point, around the corner, just around the corner, you're all here. There's another,
Like Eric just puts his head in his hands, just on his face, his forehead's practical on the table. It's like, if I have to hear that damn band one more fucking time, I'm going to make them go missing.
I'm gonna flip a silver coin to him.
At about also this point, you all hear, like, as it's now reaching about midday, you hear, like, as these, like, various fireworks are set off. And at the the far, off in the distance, there is the crackled sound of speakers as you hear a voice speaking through, like, calls through the crowd, and it's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, if you please make your way down to the main harbor. The Lord and Lady Bragi and Idun will be starting the day's festivities for the Sigablood Festival." As it's called out, you see like various people like, "Oh," and there's like a bit of a bustle as people are hurrying down towards the main harbor.
There you go, Eric. It's about to get real quiet around here.
It's like the calm before the storm. Cheers. And Eric just starts drinking at an unholy pace his coffee as he prepares for the horrors that's going to come.
Well, darling, you said you wanted to see the world. Ada puts her hand out to Ulf. Come and see what the common people who haven't dedicated their life to some god do with their time.
I look forward to it.
Ada guides him to where the little people are.
Really keeping a firm grip on that coin purse now.
Yeah, I would like to use wariness. The exploration stunt wariness, and I'm going to be using all my 3 points towards wariness towards my coin pouch at the moment.
Cool.
As I stand up, I do that like pocket check.
Yeah. So moving with the crowd and keeping all attention on coin purses and the like, you make your way down towards the main harbor. You gather the people. You see the people are gathering around. On one side of the harbor, there is a large, what looks like an amphitheater. Which leads to a large set of stairs, at the top of which is a large, grand longhouse. As you see, like, there's a lot, like, so the dark wooden crossbeams capped with silver at each end. These tall, these large, thick pillars that have like red and blue banners hanging from them that are proudly fluttering in the breeze. The sort of grand doors swing open as there's a sort of a low murmur from the crowd as a pair of individuals waltz out to the sound of sudden uproarious applause. You see 2 figures, both stand, at least as far as you can tell, only because of the guards standing either side of them. You gather that both of them stand about 8 foot tall. One is a fairly well-dressed, though, like, quite ornately dressed, though fairly casual. He wears sort of this very clean and nicely stitched tunic, like cream-colored tunic, with the collar hangs open to one side, with this like deep red crimson on the inside of it. A thick belt that has a number of like sort of different baubles and sashes hanging, different colored sashes hanging from it. He has a very thick sort of mane of sort of like light red hair, almost like that sort of golden red hair, and a fairly broad bushy beard with these sort of small baubles hanging from it. He seems very, very chipper as he comes out, like, you know, gestures to the crowd, to this grand cheering. The other one is a fair woman, long golden blonde hair, quite a beautiful, like, deep blue hanger-rock dress over a similar tunic to her partner. And she wears a lot of this sort of like silver jewelry, the beads that hang from these brooches on the front of her dress. and a number of these sort of chains and hair pieces that hold her braided hair back. As they wave to the crowd, there's another of these two sort of overhead, and sort of small, like, confetti pieces sort of start to float past as they make their way down the stairs to a landing in the middle. As the male, which all of you would recognize to be Bragi. So Bragi is one of the remaining Aesir. He is known to be a god of poetry, of art, of music, and also generally, in this case, as part of being the gift of the gab, he is known nowadays as being a god of trade and commerce. But generally speaking, it is known throughout that his main passion lies in the arts and in all sort of manners of beauty. He stands forward, and as he calls, you don't see any sort of like device on him at all, like any sort of microphone or anything. But his voice booms to the point that you imagine it can be heard the whole way through the harbor. As he calls and he says, "Welcome, everyone, to Vartengarter's Sigerblot Spectacular." And the crowd, again, roars and cheers as he holds up his hands. And he says, "We would like to welcome all of our guests from across Hymgard and promise this to be a show of special magnificence this year." And everyone cheers, again raises his hands. He says, "Please enjoy. We will have our concert on this evening in the amphitheater. But please enjoy the festival, enjoy the music, enjoy the arts, and, of course, enjoy Vartengarter." And again, the crowd erupts into cheers as they both hold up their hands, and slowly, essentially turn to. You see a number of what you imagine, by the looks of them, essentially emissaries from some of the other citadels, climbing the stairs towards them. I'll say, Ulf, at this moment, like, from the morning that you've had and the god that you are used to, like, so you would know Vali is very much you've known Vali to be at best fair. Like, you would know, not everyone else would know, but you would know. He genuinely cares about his people. You gather that essentially it's like, you know that Vali would not ask you to do anything that he would not be willing to do. But also, like, as far as he's not the warmest. Like, warm is not the word that you think anyone would use for Vali. And he's definitely not, like, he's never been one for comforts. He's never been one for, he is entirely about function, essentially. As you look around now, you see happy faces. You see people smiling and laughing, people hugging and almost dancing. And looking up, you see this god that almost makes no sense to you, I imagine. Because he is entirely just... He is nothing. If you could... He is almost completely juxtaposed to Vali.
Yeah. I just take a moment to take everything in, just glancing around at the crowd, looking at the fireworks, just looking at the actual joy that is around that I haven't seen since I was a young child in my village growing up. And it does take a bit of a knock. It seems almost unreal And I sit there wondering briefly if this is all just part of the medicine I was given earlier. Am I actually unconscious? Did I actually die? But after focusing on the wind blowing through the air and regrounding myself, I turn to the other three. Is this normal?
No, it's more of a yearly thing, mate. Like, this happens once a year. Everyone gets that.
No, I mean, like... Do you know how long it's been since I've seen someone smile?
I mean, I was smiling just before, but sure, we'll say before that.
Nice of you
What,
to
you could
notice me, but
All over that half.
I feel like your
Right.
smile is something is just like you're like pulling a face
It's just like a sneer. But
the difference
like this.
the difference between smiling and gas for Hugo, indistinguishable.
Smile. Yeah.
Ada puts a hand on Ulf's shoulder and looks at him, and suddenly her eyes seem much, 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 much older than she has ever appeared to be in that to Ulf previously. And she says, yes, staring out into the cold for decades, this is a bit of a shock to the system. But it's real. Just life is different in different places.
it's good to see this again. And you can hear like he gets choked up a bit. I truly didn't think it was possible to see a sight like this again.
Life's pretty amazing, mate, when you greet it with open arms.
As loud and as annoying it can be, on other days, it's much more pleasant.
Well,
The
I
cold
look
is
forward-
boring. This is more fun.
I look forward to embracing this as best I can. I've wanted to see the world, and I feel like I'm finally truly getting that opportunity.
I look forward to your awkward reactions to things and trying to explain them to people.
It's gonna be bloody hilarious. Like the amount of bullshit that I'm gonna throw your way, and you're not gonna understand it. I'm gonna give you the wrong answers, and then you're gonna spread those wrong answers. It's gonna be. I'll give the good amount of right answers just to make you confused. It's gonna be amazing.
Hugo, you're a tiny little sociopath.
I have to
Yes, I
say,
am.
not Ada. I may be inexperienced with joy, but I'm not stupid. And my shift, as I say it in like a sort of nice-ish, cocky way, I send this glare that is one to try to just cut through you.
I love that. I like him.
Hugo, real quick, you take a moment as you look into his eyes. Like, you can roleplay it however you want. Looking into this man's eyes, there's a moment where you see, like, as he looks at you, you see, quite honestly, like, the eyes of a man who, how to put it, has a confirmed kill count. Like, is the best way that I can put it. It is
That's
like,
not
oh,
impressive. I could do that
oh
too.
no, but I mean, like, I mean in the sense of like,
I've
essentially,
had
you have
bad days.
you have the idea of like this is a man who has known war, essentially, for the majority of his life, essentially. And yeah,
Ada just smiles and nods, and she takes a coin out of her pocket, holds it up with her knitting from her. 1 second, I just need to double check which hand she holds up.
Why you do that?
From
It's
her
like
left hand,
Hugo looks at you and be like,
and throws it into the water again, and goes,
I'll never understand why you do that.
That was a solid.
Go out into the sea one time.
I'll think
Actually, no,
about it.
don't. Don't do that.
All right. I'll stay here in my clinic where it's quiet. most of the time.
There's a lot of customs that I'm not quite used to. I'm not one to toss money into water, but if it's...
Oh, that's not a custom. Only she does that, and it's weird.
Oh, okay.
Also, you should try to
Anyway.
avoid looking at people like that, mate. You look like you're about to kiss me.
Look, it's been 10 years alone.
Whee!
That can go in either direction. And I'm
At least
okay with
buy me
some.
dinner first, mate. We'll see how things go.
I'm fairly sure, but I'm not 100% know what a woman looks like.
Hey, 20
So,
silver's 20
That's
silver, mate.
Ada.
Yeah. As you turn away and like the crowd starts to disperse, you see again in this new light, you suddenly see the rest of this city around you, around the harbor. You see, you hear music start up again. You see various people doing different performances. And you see a lot of games suddenly starting up, like different people putting on different games and sort of stuff like that. And as you make your way into the Sigerblot Festival proper, that is where we're going to end our first session. So it's all done. Hooray. Thank you all very much for playing. I really hope the YouTube recording works well, because good lord, my connection was not good. I do sincerely apologize to if anyone was having trouble with viewing that, because yeah, my network, I've got to have a look at my network stuff because it's not holding up. We might have to just do Twitch streaming and then post YouTube videos, because I think the multi-stream might be killing it.
Damn Australian internet.
Love it.
NBN.
That's the real BBEG.
Yeah.
And this is the better version, the version than we had before. Yeah.
Is it though?
Apparently.
It's better than fiber to the node, my friend.
So yeah, thank you all so much for playing. This has been a great start. I've got to note Weaver down.
Yes, note him
'Cause-
down. That little shit needs to clean up the stain he left.
Oh, Weaver's coming back a lot.
I'm loving Weaver. Such a good character.
He's not even one of the actual ones who had names to begin
You
with.
named character.
Oh my God.
There's like 3 named ones, and then Weaver comes out of nowhere.
I was originally playing him to be Gunny or Gunny, and then you were like, no, it's Weaver, and I'm like, yeah, it is.
No, that was good fun. Thank you for having us.
Not a problem
Really
at all.
appreciate it.
Go buy
yes.
his book.
And thank you
Yes.
all very much for watching. We will be back with more, with episode 2 of Echoes of Ragnarok in 2 weeks. So that will be the 15th of May. Yeah, come hang out. And also next week on Thursday, I'll be continuing with South of Midnight, which is a really fun game, and you should come check it out with me. But cool. But yes, once again, I'm the Heavy Metal Game Master, Dragon Dane. Check out our channel affiliates and our other things in the thing. Be sure, if you enjoyed the game, be sure to tip our players. Oh, and one thing as well. Obviously, I saw someone try to do it before, and I didn't mention it. I do not have my usual point redeem stuff running while we are doing TTRPG stuff. However, one of the point redeems that I do have on my channel is inspiration. So if you see a character thing that you really like and you thought was really cool, you can give that player inspiration for our next session. I'm just going to say that this was a really cool session, so I'm going to give you all inspiration for our next session.
Yay!
But yeah, it'll be
Thanks,
really
big
good.
boss man.
I'm the
Yes,
big
thank you,
boss.
He is boss man.
But yes,
Slides Hugo's coin pouch to you.
check out all of our so yes, please check out all our channel affiliates, and be sure to tip our players, and for each of you, where can we find you guys? Ada.
You can find me on TikTok, where I am starting to post again and wake up the algorithm to say, "Hi, I'm here," after disassociating for a year. You can also find me on Blue Sky, occasionally doing thoughts and shit, but mostly here. And I'm random.
Frax.
You can find me mainly on Twitch and YouTube. I do occasionally post on TikTok and Instagram when I remember they exist, and I can be bothered to produce content because I'm apparently a content creator.
Feel that in my
soul. There, Fraction Plays on all socials.
Cool. Mac.
You can find me at Hephaestus Mac on pretty well every social media. On Red Note, it's Heftech, and on Blue Sky, it's Sir Hef or Sir Mac.
Cool.
I am what they call a content creator, but I'm really not. But
and Rogue.
You can find me usually on TikTok, Instagram under my same handle, but I'm usually on Twitch every Wednesday, 6:30 Australian time. So come check me out.
Awesome. Cool. And also, yeah, all of their link trees are down in the panels below. 100% go check them out. If you're following me, you should be following them. But yes, but with that said, thank you all very much for hanging out, and we will catch you all later. Bye bye.
have a good one, mate.
See you later.
Cool. Oh, who are we gonna raid?
Oh, good question.
Who are we
Raiding?
raiding? Is anyone?
Raid.
Not sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
I was
Buy
about
his
to say,
book.
like, Raid Shadow Legends.
You're not.
Buy his book.
Yes,
Oh,
do buy his book. It's amazing.
thank you.
I'm going to read it so I can get inside information on this stream.
Cool, we can both read on the plane together.
Oh my god, yes!
Have they
We
just
can
started?
brainstorm.
Reading is
have.
fundamental.
Okay, where I think we're going to because I've just seen that Chemical Fairy's about to start streaming, and this would be
Hang
a
around so we can raid Chemical Fairy.
Good...
Yeah.
Cool. So yes, thank you everybody. I'm gonna jump onto my outro screen and and we will see you in 2 weeks. Thanks all. Bye.
See you then.
Bye.
Raid real soon, but first I want to thank you all for watching. I really love bringing you all high quality content, whether it be my videos or books or streams, and it is your support that allows me to keep doing that. So if you'd like to support the Heavy Metal Game Master, here are 3 quick ways that you can help out. 1. Subscribe to my Twitch channel or my Ko-fi page. Unfortunately, I haven't figured out how to make my Ko-fi subscribers also my Twitch subscribers yet. Over on Ko-fi, I have a number of tiers available for subscription, all heavy metal themed of course, and you can snag yourself some exclusive content and perks from yours truly. 2. Buy my book. My debut novel, Hymgard of Ragnarok Berserker, is now available pretty much everywhere. If you enjoy dystopian fantasy and Norse mythology, I am sure you will love it. Get your copy today. And 3. Check out our channel affiliates. Arc and Forge provide awesome TTRPG map making software and toolkits, allowing you to make awesome maps that can be used in person or online. If you use the code METALGM, you can get $5 off any toolkit purchase, and it helps out our channel as well. And finally, just keep doing what you're doing. Follow my socials, keep enjoying my content, share it with your friends. Let's build this heavy metal community into something amazing. Anyway, I think we're gonna start the raid. Have a good one, y'all. Hey everybody, hope you enjoyed the stream. We're gonna raid real soon, but first I want to thank you all for watching. I really love bringing you all high quality content, whether it be my videos or books or streams, and it is your support that allows me to keep doing that. So if you'd like to support the Heavy Metal Game Master, here are 3 quick ways that you can help out. 1. Subscribe to my Twitch channel or my Ko-fi page. Unfortunately, I haven't figured out how to make my Ko-fi subscribers also my Twitch subscribers yet. Over on Ko-fi, I have a number of tiers available for subscription, all heavy metal themed of course, and you can snag yourself some exclusive content and perks from yours truly. 2. Buy my book. My debut novel, Harbingers of Ragnarok,